Welcome back to Jamie's Adventures in Dirt 4. My name is Ricky, and today we're going to finish Michigan in the rally portion of the Triple Crown. So I raced this stage earlier, and we came in first. I still don't fully understand how we're winning all of these, but we are. So we still have two more left to go, and they are quite long.
Yeah, I think the turbo's off, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna struggle getting anywhere near our top speed.
Okay. I don't know what most of those words mean. I mean, I know what top speed means, and struggle. But, I don't really know what a turbo does. Is it anything like nitro? I don't really like night stages. And also, I've been beating up this car. The reason I was really surprised about winning that last stage, the stage right before this stage, the stage I did, that didn't record. The reason I was really worried about that was because I crashed into like 4 trees and the crowd, and somehow we still came out on top by about 10 seconds or so. It was not great. It was not Jamie's finest performance. Yeah, we did a lot of that stuff. But it did inspire today's episode. See, the thing is, the car's not driving well right now. And it's not just me. It is, obviously, the guy at the controls. But it's not just the guy at the controls. The car actively feels like it's fighting me. Also, the controller is vibrating way more than it normally does, which is throwing me off. But I've been thinking a lot about the car. You know, the car is very important to Jamie. She's never had real success using any other car. I mean, she's had some successes, mind, outside of the Subaru WRX, the 2015 Subaru WRX. I can speak, I guess, maybe a little bit. She, you know, she has a Subaru Impreza from like the 2000s, and I think one from like the mid-90s or something. And we've had some success with them. Obviously, we had a lot of success in Rally, where we used the Ford Focus or Ford Fiesta or both. I don't remember. And in Rallycross, we had a lot of success. There are no Subarus for Rallycross in this game. I don't know if the Subaru makes a Rallycross. Oh crap. But yeah, in the last stage, I pretty much hit everything you could hit: a tree, stop sign, rocks, the crowd. I mean, and I don't know if it's just because I've been playing a bunch of different other games. I've been playing Fortnite. Let's just be honest here. Mostly in the past 2 weeks, since it launched on the Switch, I've pretty much just been playing Fortnite. And I don't know if that's part of it. If you know, using the Nintendo Switch Pro controller all the time is throwing me off when picking up the 360 controller. It's never bothered me before when I've played GameCube games, and you know, and all right, that is absolutely fine with me. What just happened there? But yeah, basically today I wanted to talk about Jamie's car and you know, how she has her engineers put it together. Something that Hank really understood well, and to be honest with you, Kristin doesn't. As the lead engineer, like, Hank always kind of got what Jamie was coming from, and that was to try and use as much of the old car as possible in fixing it. Yeah, sometimes you're gonna have to get a new hood or new fender, but if you can fix the fender, if you can, you know, if you can bend it back out and get all the dents out as best as possible, that's going to be better than anything else. And for 2 reasons. One is cost. You just keep costs down a little bit. And 2 is that she wants to keep as much of the car as possible. And that's not always the case, but there are little things about the car. You know, like, here's a dent here. Don't fix this dent because it's the first dent, you know, she got in it. Stuff like that she likes to try and keep in the car. Now, not everything. She can't do everything because, again, like I said, sometimes you have to get a new part. Um, but it's very important to her that she keeps all the, that she tries to keep it as put together as it originally was, you know, all as many original parts as possible. Not because she doesn't want it to lose its value, you know, forget that. It's because she feels, and I mentioned this last week, is, you know, how often does the car have to be rebuilt before it stops being that car? What I've thought about this a lot over the past couple of years. At what point does something become new? Like, okay, for instance, I have a 2008 white polycarbonate MacBook. I don't use it anymore. But it was my primary computer from 2008 to 2015. I had it for a long time. But throughout the course of its life, the keyboard was replaced more than once. The outer casing was replaced more than once. Less than the keyboard. The logic board was replaced 2 or 3 times? Twice. I think it was replaced twice. The fan was replaced because it broke. All of this was replaced under warranty, by the way. I didn't pay a dime to get any of it fixed. And some of it's an interesting story, and I may talk about it. Well, I probably won't ever talk about it in Jamie's Adventures in Dirt 4. But, you know, it was a couple years ago when I started really thinking about, is this really the same computer that I bought? Like, the screen, I never broke the screen on that Mac. Broke it on my MacBook, my new MacBook, my 2015 Retina MacBook. But I never broke it on the other one. So the screen and the hard drive are probably the only original things left. Maybe the optical drive. Maybe no, not even the RAM. I upgraded the RAM. You know? So, what made that MacBook mine? Was it, you know, all the little chips in it that get put in it from use? Was it specifically just the hard drive and the stuff that was on it? And these are questions that I think, you know, you ask. And at what point does it become a new thing? And this is something that Jamie struggles with, and that's why she encourages her crew to make, when they have to fix a part, like she has the same steering wheel she's used the entire time. Not that the steering wheel's ever been broken, but there was something wrong with the steering wheel at some point early on, and they were like, well, we got to replace the steering wheel. And she said, well, do we have to replace the steering wheel itself? And they basically took apart the steering wheel and put the parts that were broken, or that weren't broken, fixed the parts that needed to be fixed inside the steering wheel. It wound up being more time consuming and I think costing them more money. But she was insistent. She wanted that. She wanted the car, she wanted the steering wheel to feel exactly the same every time. And it does. Every time.
Alright, take her slow to the control.
So.
Hey, that went really well. Great stage. Good work.
Yeah, 8 minutes and 3 seconds. I mean, we keep winning. We keep winning. We keep winning. By a lot more than we've been, you know, winning by actually this time, which just puts us further and further ahead. Here's the event standings. I mean, you know, 39-51, 42-19. We are flying through this.
Yeah, I think the turbo.
You said that last time.
Yeah, I'm gonna struggle getting anywhere near our top speed.
It didn't seem to affect us in the last stage. And
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
I just don't think it's going to affect it too much in this one either.
200 over 100. Post outside.
So,
Left three, keep in, 100.
a lot of this idea
Right 5.
about what makes a car new, how does a car continue to
Right
be,
4 over crest.
does a car continue to be the same car, does something continue to be the same thing if you replace,
200.
at what point does it become new, right? Like, that's the question
Keep in,
that I
200.
think Jamie is trying to avoid. I know I've already said this, but In my mind, it echoes when she talks about it. She talks about her car the way Dean Winchester talks about Baby um, in the TV show Supernatural, which of course they've never heard of the TV show Supernatural here, so it's hard for me to explain. But it's in the show, it's a 1967 Chevy Impala, black Chevy Impala, and Dean loves that car more than he loves anything other than maybe his brother. Sometimes maybe I think that maybe he loves the car more than he loves his brother. He certainly has a different love for his car than he does for anything else, that's for sure. Whether that's healthy or not is, well, that's not really something any Supernatural fan really wants to think too hard about. But there's a scene where Chuck, the prophet that later turns out to be God, spoiler alert, is talking about the car, about the Impala. And it's talking about how Dean has rebuilt the Impala multiple times, but every time he puts back in all these things that make the Impala the unique version of the Chevy that he knows, you know. So he puts in, like, I think there's some melted or stock Army men that he and Sam played with as kids. There's a few other things that I can't remember off the top of my head because it's been a long time since I watched the Season 5 finale. Did I mention that's what it was from, the Season 5 finale? Yeah, that's when everyone started to suspect that Chuck was really God. Anyway, I don't want to start talking about Supernatural. But, I mean, I'm reminded of that bit when I think about Jamie's obsession. Well, obsession isn't the right word. Longing. That's not really a great word either. Wanting to keep the car as close to the original as possible. Well, nope, we're going the wrong way. We're going the wrong way. There we go. Alright, that was fun. Gotta be honest with you, somehow I did that in the stage in the stage I didn't record on for the channel. That was the stage before this. That was a terrible turn, but it looked sweet. I flipped the car in that one too. I think I flipped the car in the previous stage, didn't I? I'm gonna be honest, it sort of all blurs together at times. Okay, well, I felt like I was about to flip it again. It's okay, as long as I don't get like 3 or 4 more vehicle recoveries, we'll be fine. No. 6 vehicle recoveries. Because I think it's 9. That my target is 9 and I have 3. Anyway, so all of this, you know, this wanting to keep the car, her car, and not wanting it to become a brand new car, essentially, from the car that she first purchased, you know, right after making enough money to buy a car and start a team, which was was a very difficult process from a long time ago. It feels like forever, probably because it was probably close to not quite a year ago in actual our world time. It's been longer than that in her time, but it's been well over a year since she started driving. But I think it was like July of last year when we started Team Cherry Blossom, and we started Team Cherry Blossom with this car. And I think that's why it's more important to her than her other rally cars, than the other Imprezas, or the. I mean, it pains me to say this, but I bet it matters more to her than her Alpine A110. I mean, I'll admit right now that the Renault Alpine A110, it's a historic rally car. It's won multiple rallies in the 70s, World Rally Championships in the 70s. We bought it because of me. I bought it and sort of forced it on Jamie as a character. But even her other rally cars, or other rallycross cars, and she doesn't have that many cars. But this is the car, like, I was very nervous that doing the Triple Crown I was going to have to get a new car. And I was also nervous with the last one, the World Rally World, whatever it was, the Grand, whatever it was, the last rally thing that we had to win to get to the Triple Crown. I was nervous about that too. Wow. Oh crap. We're fine. We've got like 2 miles. Yeah, we definitely have a flat tire. I'm not changing it. We have about 3 miles. We can drive 3 miles on a flat tire. No, we have less than 3 miles. If I'm doing my very quick in my head math about where the speedometer was when we started. No, the odometer, not the speedometer. The speedometer was at 0 when we started. I'm not resetting the car unless the car needs to be reset. Also, get off the wall. Yes, now I'm fighting the car. I will say this. She's not overly concerned with the tires being the same. But I think that, I think the car has been beat up enough that I think even she knows it's not the same car. It's not the exact same car that she started with, right? She knows that it's different, but there are certain things, obviously there are certain things that have never been really destroyed. Like, the steering wheel's never been completely broken. I mean, it was broken that one time. Her seats are the exact same. They've always been, you know. She's never experienced anything quite like the Impala from Supernatural has experienced, like at the end of season 1 finale. Yeah, the season 1 finale where it sends Sam and Dean and their dad to the hospital at the beginning of season 2. I mean, it completely totaled the car, and he had to rebuild it. And it's happened more than once on the show. They have not had to completely rebuild its seats and all, you know. You know, this is just the way Jamie feels. You know, Maggie, she has no problem. You know, she's not the one driving, you know. She knows the car well enough to know if something's wrong, potentially something's wrong. I mean, she can tell when it might be a flat tire. It's definitely a flat tire. She should hold on to the controller because it vibrates like crazy when you have a flat tire. I mean, it's not like crazy, but yeah. Well, I guess my point is Jamie loves her car a lot, and you know, she wants it to be her car, and it must be the same car she always has. That's all I'm saying. How? Okay, look, nothing makes sense at all, ever. How much did we win by? I don't know. A lot more than we should have, that's for sure. Stage results, I mean, you know, when you win by 26 seconds, I don't know. First place in Michigan, that's great, 25 points. So that was the end of Michigan in the rally section of the Triple Crown. Next week, we will get started in Australia. I don't know if we can keep up our winning ways with this weird, we race poorly, but so does everyone else. I don't think we'll be able to take it into Spain that way, but hopefully, you know, we can keep it going strong through Australia, which will give us a good buffer in the points to get through Spain, Wales, and Sweden. This has been Jamie's Adventures in Dirt 4. Thank you for watching. Come back soon for more Dirt 4.